morning camera. Good morning, guys. I have a little bit of bad head. Excuse my bad head, but I wanted to get this done. I'm up a little bit later than normal. I'm trying to do the earth signs for June of 2020. That would be the signs of Taurus, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. These Tarotscopes are broad spectrum Tarotscopes for an overview for what your month may be like if you have, if you're born under the sign of Taurus, or if you have heavily placed planets in these signs. You want to maybe cross-watch some of the different videos and just sort of get an idea of what you might be experiencing, like if your moon is in Aquarius and you have a Taurus rising, or you know how it goes, guys. So sorry that I took a day off, but I got up late yesterday due to some stuff and I had things going on. So I'm hoping that today's broadcast doesn't drop, because last month Taurus dropped. My internet's been iffy. So I'm going to jump right in and get started. We're going to look at the energy for Taurus starting out, and then we'll go into Virgo and then Capricorn. So I'm going to switch cameras really quick and we're going to start shuffling. So for those of you that are new to me, welcome to the channel. This is a monthly thing that I do for all of the signs. If anybody's ever interested in a personalized reading to for their own month of what to look forward to, you can certainly book that. Just to make you guys aware, booking readings, you want to contact me at the business page with any questions, which is located on Facebook. If you're watching via YouTube, that is all up. All the links are up in the upper right hand corner of the landing page at YouTube. And then what else? You can support me for the daily forecast and other things through my Patreon page over on patreon.com. If you choose to, if you like the work that I do and want to support me, you can get a subscription there. Imagine it like, subscribing to a newspaper, your daily paper. What else was I going to say? Follow me at AngleGuys333 on Instagram. I don't post that much over there, but I am over there, and it is a way to follow me. And also, if I had more followers over there, I would probably post more. I also need to figure out Instagram video, like live, to figure out how to put up readings over there. I wish there was a way to just broadcast to all three so this could go out everywhere. And that's it, I think. Book private readings. Like, share, comment, subscribe on the video. Share this video with your earth sign friends. They may enjoy it. So let's see what's going on for the sign of Taurus. I'm actually meeting for a reading later this afternoon with a triple Taurus, so he should be watching this for sure. Alright, let's see here. Taurus, what does it know for June 2020? Okay, so this first card is kind of where my Taurians are going to be centered at in the month of June. It's sort of throughout the month, and it's also kind of, you'll go in and out of this sort of card, so to speak. It's not something that will be a constant, but it's sort of like the theme card for the month of June. This, looking at this card makes me understand sort of an overall view of whether or not it's going to be a great month or a weird month or whatever. It also tells me a little bit about sort of where what you guys could be potentially creating for your future by what you're doing in your now, right, in June. So let's see what this is. Whoa, we've got the Judgment card. Nice card to have to start off with. It's Major Arcana. To me, Judgment is about sort of similar to Justice in the sense that it's about like discernment, coming clean, being seen for who we truly are. When I look at this card, though, I feel like my Taurians are going to get rewarded in some way, get acknowledged in some way. This to me feels, sometimes this card is usually a very beneficial card, right? Sometimes, though, it can read or feel to me like maybe others are judging you. I feel like this is actually people honoring you. The judgments are clean, they feel precise, they feel impactful. If there's something that my Taurians have been working towards, I feel like you guys might actually get noticed finally throughout the month of June, and noticed in a rather big way. The Judgment card is not, how do I want to say this? I don't feel like it is a card that can be sort of missed, right? So You might find yourself getting honored throughout the month of June. You might find yourself just being acknowledged in general ways that, you know, even if they might be small little acknowledgments here and there throughout the month of June, when they add up, your overall feeling to me feels empowered. It feels like I almost feel like I want to lift my chest up and be proud, if that makes sense. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this card. So I feel like this is about Taurus, maybe, and we haven't seen the foundation card yet, but I feel like you guys have done some stuff right leading up to this point, and it's finally like it's being acknowledged. Is my sense. Wherever choices have been made, where maybe you've done some self-sacrificing or some things where you might have put others in front of yourself, or um, you know, it just feels to me that we're coming into this understanding with this judgment card, not only from the outside environment, but within ourselves. We feel good about how we've brought ourselves to the month of June and throughout the month of June. Does that make sense? So, using our own judgment, trusting our own judgment, and also, like, allowing others to see us as we truly are. And there's a steadiness to this card. There's which also kind of really, to me, feels in line with that Taurian energy of that steadiness of the bull. There's a steadiness. There's a measuredness. There's a balance to this card. If anything has felt out of balance for my Taurians, I feel like the month of June will be the moment where, or the period of time where we get to find that balance again. Things will swing back in our favor, or things will begin to start to make sense as to why we're struggling or dealing with things in the past. The way that we struggled and dealt with them, or the way that we responded to them, we actually, I feel like, are going to be rewarded. That's the feeling that I'm getting from this card, is that we've done something very right, and it's going to allow us to really understand that and feel that about ourselves. So let's look at the foundation card. This card tells me a little bit about sort of why things are the way they are. This is the card from the past that kind of gives me insight into what happened that opened the door for these cards to come into play for my Taurians in the month of June. It's also the memory of this card that sort of holds everything in place. So we have the Knave of Pentacles. Okay, so Pentacles is definitely Earth energy. So are Knaves or Pages, right? So we've got this double Earth energy down in our foundation space, which to me, I love that this is down there for you guys, because it feels like not only is it like doubled down on your home element of Earth, but it also is about material wealth, home life, jobs, money, all of those sort of things that the Earth signs are really good with, that you guys really excel at. This being in the foundation space and it being a Knave says to me that there may have been some lessons that we've had to learn around how we manifest, or what ways we go about manifesting. I kind of get this feeling that when I'm looking at this Knave, that you guys have maybe been very generous to others leading up, or as generous as you can be leading up to this point. That's kind of why I feel like there's this beautiful like acknowledgement that's happening in this Judgment card throughout the month of June. The Knave to me feels like Knaves usually represent sort of younger attitudes, enthusiasm, learning, that sort of thing. To me, this Knave feels like he's put his shield down. I don't know, I'm realizing when I'm watching these videos back later that you guys can't necessarily always see what I'm talking about, so I'll hold this up closer. But if you look at how his shield is down and he's handing out that pentacle, there's something about this energy in this card that makes me feel like my Taurians have been open to new ideas around manifestation in the months previous. You've been open to new ideas around sharing, around doing the right thing, around letting down your boundaries, or not your boundaries, but your walls, right? Not maybe being quite so stubborn, being open to different ways of going about support, not only for yourself, but for others, okay? And the reason why I say that is because of this beautiful Judgment card, which says to me that, and like just to show you, there's all of these angels with horns, or these women with horns. See, they're like, the horns are being tooted on high, so to speak, in your favor, or as blessings to you, like heralding in sort of what's right and acknowledging what's right throughout the month of June. So I feel like there's blessings coming to my Taurians, especially with this foundation of the Knave. It's like this open-mindedness idea around how to be a good manifester, how to be more authentically ourselves. That would be like sort of dropping the shield, right? And allowing ourselves to be seen a little bit more. And in doing that, leading up to in the months previous, and learning from that, right? And growing from that in this double earth energy of this Knave of Pentacles, we're bringing ourselves to this powerful place of being able to be judged in a way that is very positive and almost, I want to say, like being seen for who we really are. Excuse me. You know, being seen for like, it's not just about material worth, even though this is the Knave of Pentacles down here. This Judgment card feels like you guys are going to be seen and appreciated. Like, I don't know why I want to go this way, but it feels like you guys are going to be seen in the totality of how sort of wonderful you are. And that will be very much a powerful position. And I don't mean power from this sort of dynamic or aggressive sort of way. I feel like there's a passiveness to this Judgment card. There's a strength there, but there is this sort of quiet peace that comes with this Judgment card that I feel like you guys are going to really enjoy going forward. The learning may even continue into the month of June. But it's much more empowered because you're in this place of judgment, discernment, able to make strong, wise decisions, that sort of thing, in whatever you're dealing with in the month of June. Now, the next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This card tells me a bit about where your spirit or soul is at, what it wants you to focus on during all of this, and what it wants you to deal with. Now, this is the Nine of Swords, known as the Nightmare card. But I don't feel like this is a nightmare card. I feel like this is your spirit asking you. Generally, this card represents like sort of nightmares, bad dreams, being stuck in negative thinking, that sort of a thing, right? It's swords, element of air, the element of the mind, right? Or the realm of the mind, the intellect. Nines represent personal completion to me before we head into like total completion of cycles in the tens. So with this 9, to me, in the spirit space, it speaks to a couple things. I'm going to show you the design really quick. This woman is reaching out into the future, right? Generally, she's depicted in a bed with the swords above her, and she's like waking from her dream. This woman is reaching out to the future in this spread, is how I always feel, and especially in these cards. But this being in your spirit space, to me, feels like your spirit wants you to sort of clear your mind of any last minute detritus, any last minute painful thoughts, holding on to any sort of things from the past that no longer work for you or that have held you back. I almost feel like the innocence of this page or this knave down here is sort of what you've been working on as far as learning new ways of being, learning new ways of giving, learning new ways of vulnerability in the months previous. Your spirit is enjoying this, and your spirit it's bringing you to this place of this empowered judgment card. And what's happening here is your spirit is asking you to release any last minute mental judgments you may have on yourself, on others. That's the sort of personal completion of the 9, and the element of the nightmares, the fantasies that are like maybe negative thinking. And not that a negative thought would be a fantasy, but sometimes we get caught in those traps of, oh, this will never work. This is our spirit saying, no, it's time to let go of this, Taurus. This will work. That's the seeing through the clarity of the judgment card, right? The discernment through the judgment card. So any last minute sort of self-undoing thoughts, these need to be addressed in the month of June and sort of released. I feel like they will be. I don't see this as a problem or a hindrance, only because the way that she's reaching out for the future says to me that you guys need to separate yourself from this stuff if you're able to successfully plan for the future. And that's why your spirit is sort of asking you to address this stuff, because there is some opportunity here with this double earth energy and this Page of Pentacles around the idea of learning how to create materially in a new way that's maybe more authentic. Maybe it might feel a little bit more vulnerable, but it's this different way of going about doing what you've been doing. And in doing that, you need to let go of some of this distrust for some of you, negative thinking for some of you, self-doubt, whatever it is that's manifesting for you mentally that's not serving you. June is the month to really address it and let it go. And that's also part of this judgment card. We need to like look at our own thoughts and judge them. Is this working for me? Is this serving me? Is this, and that's that position of power of being in that judgment card. Not only will others see you in a light that I feel is positive, but it's up to you to also sort of shine that light as positively as you can. Doing that work in the spirit realm, or doing that work that your spirit wants of you to really acknowledge and adjust your thoughts, is going to help you also to get into that clearer sense of who you are and what you want and how you're going about getting it. Now, the next two cards are what I call the outside influences. These cards, they can represent as people, events, sometimes things more vague like belief systems or energies that are having an effect on you during the month of June. We just need to be made aware of them. They're not necessarily of us, they are around us. So we have the King of Pentacles. Nice. I love that he is looking, or we even have the bull here, Taurus. Do you see that bull up in the top of the mountain? So this to me feels like a couple of things. This could be another earth sign. It doesn't necessarily have to be male or female. Obviously, it being a king, it could be somebody quite definitely male. It doesn't have to be though, but it could be somebody of the earth realms. If this is an outside person, an actual physical person that's coming, I feel like they're coming to bestow gifts or acknowledgement. I feel like they're staring directly at this judgment card, which also ties into this energy that's going on here in the center of seeing ourselves as we truly are. There could be significant people of power, or this could be a new job offer. This could be this feels to me like new opportunity coming at you from outside. And I feel like this is someone here that is appreciative of what you've done or how you've done it in the recent past as this knave. Does that make sense? He's noticed and he understands. Like, I almost feel like this person, if this is an actual person outside of you, this person feels like you remind them of them. They were once the knave, right? And they can appreciate that in you. And I feel like they've come to sort of acknowledge you, exonerate you, validate you, maybe even offer you a leg up. This could be, like I said, a new job opportunity, a new upgrade in your, I don't know, your home life, whatever. I just feel like this person is coming in to sort of bring you blessings in a way, much deserved blessings. Kings also represent with the element of fire, or they're associated with the element of fire. So I feel like this person could be a little bit direct. I think they could be very accomplished is the feeling that I'm getting. Like, this person to me, this King of Pentacles just feels like no joke. When they show up, or if they show up in June and you're open to them and you allow them to like sort of acknowledge you or teach you or show you, they're gonna like give you some sort of awareness, new understanding, that you can continue to build on the new understanding that you've been working on with this knave, okay? So for some of you, maybe you've been working on something that you're trying to see through is sort of the feeling that I'm getting right now. That's this knave. It feels like June, it might actually come to fruition, okay? And this would be something in our material realm. Like, this would be an increase in income, maybe a better home, maybe a new job. Maybe it could even be as close to like maybe a new relationship. This is about my Taurians actually starting to see it come to a reality, right? With a little bit of outside help from whoever this person they represent as. Now, this other outside influence. Wow, you guys are like surrounded. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, he tends to be a slow-moving energy. Let me look at this. You've got tons of earth energy around you. Like, it's like it wants to flow in. Oh, I'm sorry. Knights are the element of fire. Kings are the element of air. I screwed that up. All right. So this is going to be a very much a thinking person. This might be a more dynamic person, but this person, to me, it feels more slow. Um, Let me just look at this. I almost want to say like it feels like there's a ton of options for you guys in the month of June. And it's a matter of which way you choose to go. But I feel like there is help or there is servitude. That's the night a little bit. There is opportunities here where you are getting, like, I honestly feel like there's windows or doorways of opportunities being opened to my Taurians in the month of June into the idea of bettering your life, be it through new money making opportunities, new knowledge, new awareness that helps to sort of solidify your trajectory and where you want to head throughout the rest of this year. Maybe things have been a little bit up in the air or not really very clear. I feel like clarity or pathways will begin to open up in June through this king or through this knight. The night is going to be a more slower pathway, I feel like, or a less maybe direct pathway, but both feel beneficial to me. I feel like you may feel more at home or comfortable with this night energy, having this page down in the foundation, right? Because they're in closer relation to one another. This king might sort of almost be intimidating in some ways, or he might be a little bit not overwhelming, but I don't know, too much of an authority for my Taurians. A lot of earth energy around you guys. But you're going to be fine with this knave in the foundation. It's double earth there. So you guys are grounded or sort of have been through these experiences that are grounded in your sign, in your element, in your sort of what you know to be true, even though you're learning about new ways of doing this. But teachers are coming in is the feeling that I'm getting from this. Teachers that you will understand, that will understand you, they will appreciate you. That's the judgment card. And you're going to need to use your discernment to make a choice between these two. Or you could take help from all of them, but I just get a feeling that it almost feels like I almost feel like a choice needs to be made. Do we get on the horse or do we listen to the king? That's sort of what I'm sensing from these cards. Both will take you on a different journey, or like on a journey towards abundance, but their ways of going about it are quite different. That's sort of the feeling that I get. And I feel like your spirit wants you to clean your mind of anything that holds you back in this month, because these opportunities are going to come to you and you need to take them. It's time to get on with it and like get about learning whatever else it is that you feel like you maybe don't have to get yourself where you want to be, because the resources are coming to you and they're coming into you, like they're showing up to you in ways that are going to make sense, and they're like ultimately going to like sort of speak your language is what I'm feeling when I'm looking at these cards. All right, this next card is the potential outcomes card. I always say potential because we can make choices and changes through free will to affect the outcome. Doesn't necessarily mean that this card is set in stone. It is the future card, or how June will end up for most of my Taurians. The good thing is if it's something great, we can just take heart in the fact that we're automatically heading towards it. If this is something negative, we can take it as a warning and make choices and changes to affect the outcome, okay? So this is the Seven of Cups. Again, choices. Like, let's hear it for Tatiana from RuPaul's Drag Race. Choices. Okay. I feel like there is a choice to be made here in the month of June. We may have to pick one or the other. Some of my Taurians may try and ride the fence and try and do both, afraid to kind of let go of one opportunity in favor of the other. That is this 9, right? That is the worry that I feel like is in this 9. That mental anguish or that stress or anxiety that might be produced by, oh, well, this guy has some idea for me, so does this guy. Which one do I do? Which one do I take? Who do I relate better to? It's that sort of a feeling to me. And this could be two totally different situations. Like one could be a new house and a job. This could be a move. Like this horse could represent like moving to another state for some of my Tauruses. And some of them, it could be like staying where you are and getting a raise at the job that you're at, but maybe with a boss that you don't fully relate to, right? That's kind of like you need to apply these cards into the situations that are going on in your life, but that's sort of how I'm feeling like these could play out. So it's like a choice. Do I move or do I stay and deal with this guy? But staying and dealing with this guy might have, both will have positive effects, right? But this one may move quicker, right? Is my feeling. This Seven of Cups is the outcome. It feels like there's too much at the buffet, guys. And Cups to me is always about water or emotions. Sevens being about choices needing to be made, right? Sometimes there's a little bit of a struggle around a choice. And that's where I'm feeling with this choice for my Taurians in the month of June. And that maybe that's this judgment card too, is using that strong, good judgment within yourself to make a choice between these outside influences, right? And maybe this knave at the foundation here makes us feel like, oh, well, we don't fully know what the right decision is, but you're going to have to trust your judgment and know that. You're going to have to clear your mind and get about sort of doing even something as simple as a pros and cons list. There might be some confusion by the end of the month. I mean, there's the Seven of Cups always represents as like this abundance of all of these different things in cups, right? Some things are totally out of the question and kind of not feasible, and some things are great, and some things aren't great. We need to like sort of it being a cups card and it being an emotions card. To me, it feels like, or the way I interpret it is, it's we sort of have to use our emotional intelligence coupled with this, strength of this judgment card and a clear sort of mind where we're not in any anxiety, fear, self-doubt, or worry, to sort of discern between these seven cups which is our best feeling option. I do feel like regardless of which option you take, right, whether it's the Knight or the King, you will have a beneficial outcome at some level, right? The Knight might move a little bit slower. He might be a little bit more harder work, is my feeling. The King may expect more of you. He may want you to work faster. He may have higher expectations of you, right? Those might be the things that are worrying you. This might be a time issue. This might be an expectation issue, right? You might not feel adept enough to deal with this guy at this time, but that's where we do this work up here in self-belief, and we use our judgment to get really clear and trust, like emotionally, what is our body telling us? That's the Seven of Cups. We will need to make a decision by the end of the month of June, because that's sort of, I feel like that's going to sort of set off the path for what happens next for my Taurians in the sort of heading into July. But I do want to say this, with all of this earth energy, all of this pentacle energy surrounding you and driving you, it feels to me like July could also be rather significant, because at that point we will hopefully have come to some sort of decision around what choice to make, and then we can sort of start to move about that path. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you guys. That is your June forecast. If you're interested in having further explanation, you can certainly contact me at the business page. I can do a monthly reading for just you specifically, whoever may be watching this and has questions. And again, thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys next month. You can always watch my daily forecast over at my YouTube channel, and that might also help to sort of give further clarification on what may be going on leading into the months of June. All right. Thank you. Have a great day, Taurians. I love you all. You guys know you're sweet, sexy, stubborn motherfuckers. Excuse my language. But I hope you guys have a wonderful June, and I will see you soon. All right, thank you. All right, let's get into Virgo. See what's going on for Virgo in 2020. Hello, Virgos. Those of you with a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, or heavily placed planets in Virgo, you would want to watch this reading, or cross-watch it for somebody that you may care about with a lot of Virgo energy. What is Virgo to expect? Sun, moon, rising Heavily placed planets for June of 2020. What does Virgo need to know? Oh, by the way, guys, I don't know if any of you are commenting on the video over on Facebook, or I can't see any comments. I don't have a chat box up. It's not that I'm ignoring you, just so you know. So this is your center card. This tells me a little bit about sort of where you're going to be centered at in the month of June. You'll go in and out of this sort of card, so it's not a set thing for the entire month. It's just sort of gives me an overview of kind of where you're going to be resonating at and what might be going on for you guys during the month of June. All right, so you guys get the King of Pentacles. Interesting. I'm wondering if you guys are going to have some offers for some of my Taurians. This was just in the outside influences for Taurus. I love that this is your guys' center card. It is in your home element of Earth. It is also the king, right? So to me, the king has sort of learned everything he needs to learn. Him being the king, he's also the element of air, which is that fast-moving intellect. This is my Virgos being on their game. My Virgos love to sort of process information, make, clear, cut, concise decisions. I will say that sometimes this could be like sort of a little bit of a judgmental energy, or really sort of kind of watching things and taking it all in and then making some executive decisions from that. I think the cat just spilled his cat food. I'm gonna kill him. Hold on a second. Okay, so this King of Pentacles, to me, this feels also like you guys are going to be making sort of big decisions, important decisions. It's the king aspect of it all. I feel like you guys will be adept and able to make these decisions. I feel like you guys will also feel very empowered, similar to the Taurians, but in a different way. There's an authority in the King of Pentacles that I think that allows my Virgos to kind of move with a self-assuredness and like you don't need outside validation. Like sort of who you are, what you're worth, what you deserve, and you're kind of making those quick sort of decisions in how to get there, right? There's also this aspect of, I feel like in June, you guys will really be sort of honoring yourself. That's the king part of this too, to me. The energy of this king makes me feel like you guys are going to be, like your expectations are going to be high in whatever it is that you do. And whatever it is that anybody does around you too, quite frankly. I mean, I feel like Virgo can have high expectations just in general, but you guys really understand that you deserve the best in a way. I just get, when I'm looking at this king, I feel like there's this air about him where he is sort of, his chin is up. He's feeling, like he needs to be adored, and if he's not going to be, he is going to move on. So, and it will be their loss is sort of the feeling that I'm getting. So whatever situations you guys maybe aren't getting treated as such in the month of June, you might be really looking at them with a more critical eye, let's say that, okay? But from a place of self-honor, is sort of the feeling that I'm getting with this card. The next card is your foundation card. This card tells me a bit about sort of where you guys, what has been going on in the recent past that's led us up to this point. So it's also the sort of card that everything is built on the memory of this card, right? So it's sort of the driving force behind this month, coming into this month and sort of pushing this month forward. So this is the Eight of Cups. I want to say which Virgos have left some shit. Eights are always about balance, cups being the element of water, which is your complementary element, which is a good thing. It feels like my Virgos have been sort of a little bit emotional maybe in the months past seeking balance emotionally, trying to find their sort of I want to say sort of like their internal guidance, that I feel like I'm looking at a tuning fork in my mind's eye. Like they're tuning their energy, their emotions into this space of balance, and like kind of heading to that, those nines and tens of completing those cycles with whatever's going on in our lives. When I look at this King of Pentacles, it says to me, it almost like when we look at this, there's a man walking away. I feel like Virgo has sent something away, or made a decision to let go of something emotionally. That's the Eight of Cups here. So if it is, and for you guys, you're gonna know what this thing is. I don't know exactly, because there could be multiple Virgos watching this, but for some of you, it could be a job that you didn't like or didn't fulfill you emotionally. It could be a relationship or a friendship or a familial relationship. It could be, I mean, it could be multiple things, but whatever it is, in the months previous, Virgo has been like stepping away, or it's been taken away from Virgo. But what's happening is it's putting Virgo into a place of this emotional balance. And this is also the driving force of what Virgo's looking for in the month of June. Now, Virgo is expecting only the finest as the King of Pentacles, right? Virgo feels like, okay, I've been through the emotional work. I've sort of done, for lack of a better term, I've done that bullshit, right? Like I've dealt with that bullshit, and I'm ready to sort of move forward or move through this month being honored and using sort of the intellect and your own internal like sort of manifesting strength, and your like I feel like this Eight of Cups, this emotional like learning and balancing, has sort of shifted you guys up into this King of Pentacles awareness that you're utilizing in the month of June, right? So whatever losses that you guys have suffered in the months previous, whatever sort of things you've let go of or that have like been removed from your life, they maybe weren't serving you, or they've brought you to a place where you're hopefully able to find a little bit more emotional balance and feel more complete within yourself. That's reflected in this King of Pentacles, right? This center for the month of June. It's like, okay, I've got this. This is what I expect from here on out. I've walked away from that situation, or that situation left me, but you know what? I'm not going to repeat that again, okay? And so that's why the expectations are a little bit high, but I do feel like this King of Pentacles knows that they can go about getting it. And that's what my Virgos feel like to me, is that empowered kind of, that empowered intellect and awareness, right? And the drive and determination and skill at sort of making things happen with that Pentacles energy, okay? And it's all being driven by this balanced sort of emotional energy. So I know Virgos rule the nervous system, and you guys can tend to maybe get a little bit worrisome or nervous, but you're not, I don't feel like that's your drive in the month of June. I feel like you feel very self-assured in June. The next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This tells me a bit about sort of where your spirit or soul is at and what it's working on during the month of June. Okay, the World. This is the end of the major arcana. This is about like sort of having it all brought to you, like all at, you know, your fingertips in a way. This is sort of the opportunity to kind of understand, like I feel like our spirit wants us to understand that we have the power within us to manifest or to create a better experience, an experience almost that might be beyond our wildest dreams. That's sort of the idea of this World card. To me, the World is a very positive card. It's major arcana. It's sitting in the spirit space. It says to me, your spirit wants you working in harmony. That's these four different elements of around the World card: the eagle, the lion, the bull, and the, I think this is Hermes, Hermes. But I feel like all of these are it's like our spirit wants us to kind of get into that flow, right? With the universe, the world, and allow those gifts to kind of come to us. This expectation, this attitude of this King of Pentacles speaks to this idea of bringing it in. The emotional balance that is the foundation speaks to the idea of feeling it in such a way that hopefully my Virgos are feeling very balanced. And that's going to also open the door for higher expectation and better experiences to sort of come in. We have to trust our spirit. We have to trust the creation of our spirit. I think that there is an opportunity to do that through this King of Pentacles. And this spirit says, the spirit card of the world says to me, it is bringing it in a very big way if you allow it. And I think that you will, looking at these two cards. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of